Hello friends, welcome. Now let's work with the form for the users. So when I click here, and also I have changed the style for the edit button. And what I want is, instead of coming here, because as you can see, if I refresh, because we have too much data and we don't see that, the edit button, instead of coming here and hide the columns like this, I want by default to be hidden. And when we want to show, we can toggle here. Okay, so let's open the VS Code and let's search for the users table here. And what I want is the first name, last name, and the created at to be hidden by default. So let's select first name, last name, and the created at, and say hidden to be true. Like this. And if I save and come here now and refresh, yeah, by default, we have only the ID, username, and the email. Good. Now when I click here, we want to navigate and show the form. But also here we have the user index. I have added some classes, and just let me show you on the resources, views, admin, users, index. Here is the classes I added to the H1 and also the classes to the edit. So I added the text to be green and hover green 700 and font semi-bold. Good. Now I'm going to save this as edit blade inside the users. Okay. And let's say here instead of users index, I'm going to say edit user. And instead of the table, I'm going to render the form. For that, let's navigate to the Splade and go to documentation and scroll to the form components overview. Also here you have the video about it, and I'm going to copy this one. So let's copy this and paste it right here. We have the email, and what I want, I'm going to remove this and just copy this one and paste for the username, first name, and the last name. So let's say here username is going to be the first one, and change this to say username, so the label. Then this one is going to be the first name, and also change the label to be first name, last name, this one. And the email is going to be the last one. So last name. Okay. Now let's open the user controller. On the user model, user controller here. And on the edit, instead of the string ID, I'm going to add the model. So the user model, bind the user here, $user, and say I'm going to return the view admin.users edit and pass in here the user. So we can use compact user like this, and let's save. Let's come here and refresh, go to the edit, and yeah, here we have now the edit user, username, first name, last name, and the email. Just let's go to the edit, and on the form, I'm going to add some classes. So the first one is going to be padding of 4, the BG to be white, and I'm going to add some rounded corners here to be empty. And the last one is going to be space Y2. Like this. Save, and yeah. Then we need to populate the fields here. For that, we need to bind the user. So we can say default $user. They come here, and yeah. And you can learn more about that on the video here. Also, I have a tutorial about the Splade, a full tutorial, and I'm going to leave it on the comment, the link for that tutorial. Also, you have here, you can read the documentation. So here is the default binding the class, the model, the errors, and you can say show error to false if you don't want. If you have a different key, you can say validation key. And we have also the form builder, which is if you have worked with filament, it is like filament. So create a form on the controller and then just render the Splade form like this. Now, which you like. I'm going to stick with this one, and maybe for the next CRUD, I'm going to use this just to show you both of them. Okay, now here also we need to specify the route, the action. So let's say action, which is going to be equal, and say a route here, and the route is going to be admin.users update, and we need to pass here the user. So $user like this. Okay, now let's go to the user controller on the update. Now, instead of the default request, I'm going to create a new request here. So let's open the terminal and say artisan make request, update user request, hit enter. Okay, and let's open that. So the update user request. Okay, let's change this now to true. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to open the registered user controller and copy the username, first name and last name, and also the email here, just to save some time, and paste inside here. We need to change the unique because here we are on the update, and for that let's use the rule first. So rule from the Illuminate validation, make sure you import that rule unique, and we specify the table, which is going to be users, and also the column, which is going to be the username. And now let's say ignore $ID. So $, this user ID like this, and I'm going to do the same to this one, which is just copy and paste it right here. Just change the username to be email here and save. Go to the user controller, change the request to be update user request. Also, we're going to use the route model binding to bind the user model $user. And now let's say $user update the request validated like this, and let's return to the route admin users index, and let's try. Now if I save and let's open the browser, and let's go to this one, and let's say you here, submit, and the post method is not supported. I think we need to specify also the method on the form. By default it's post. We need to specify here, which is the method put in our case. Save, come here, and just let's say submit now. Yeah, let's say edit, and I'm going to say you here, submit. And if I click, yeah, now we have view here. Okay, now the last thing is let's go to the controller and also let's add a Splade plus notification. And I'm going to say user updated and auto dismiss after seconds. For example, let's say 3. Let's close this, save and close. And now I'm going to remove view here and say submit. And now we have user updated. Okay, that's it about this video, friends. I hope you enjoy and see you in the next one. All the best. Thanks.